Hey, what is up? This is the NJ81-CP Pro, a Hall effect keyboard from Keydous. Now, I've been on this $135 keyboard for a month. It's tri-mode, it's got a TFT screen, it's got a web interface, and here's the insane part. You can mount both mechanical and magnetic switches at the same time, like a mix and match. Now, more on this later. This is a brass plated mounted keyboard with magnetic switches inside a smoky black case that looks a lot like a routing PCR ghost case. That's also a semi transparent plastic case. The NJ81-CP, why do they pick these such long ass names? I just say Keydous from now, okay? Anyway, the Keydous is a 75% layout that's almost perfectly symmetrical. Everything is like almost except for that last knob there, and that's the only thing that is, that TFT screen is the only thing that's making it not like a perfectly symmetrical keyboard. But before I dive into the specs and details, let me give you a typing sound test with these Kailh magnetic ice cream switches. Okay, we're back. Let's start admiring this gem of a keyboard. From the build and design perspective, I must say Keydous really knocked this one out of the park. Even though it is fully constructed out of plastic, it weighs over a kilo, which is like 2.3 pounds, or maybe 6 large bananas. The weight is neither light nor heavy, and this probably has the gamer in mind. Most competitive gaming keyboards are slightly similar in the weight bracket department. Maybe this is to accommodate the ease of mobility, where users want to take their keyboards out for tournaments or such, move around, take them to your friend's place, practice, whatever. The entire keyboard is plastic with a smoke finish, semi-transparent. The board itself is pretty stiff. If I really wanted to twist it, I suppose I could force some movement there, but it is very stiff and sturdy in my opinion. It's held together with clips. As you can see, there are no obvious screws visible on the outside. You have to pry them open with clips. There's some single stage flippy feet. I found that my typing angles, I do not need that flippy feet. The gradient keycaps also add to kind of like a modern chic aesthetic, and if you're looking for the highest performing gaming keyboard without like a gamery look, then this is possibly kind of your taste. Although the keycaps look great, they aren't particularly thick. They have shine through legends, and these work well with the RGB lights turned on. The downside is you can't really see the letters without the RGB lights turned on. Of course, this is not an issue if you're in wired mode, but if you game on wireless mode, there's no chance of having a clear view of the letters and legends without the RGB turned on, as you can see. On the upside, the RGB lights look phenomenal, especially with the smoky black case bouncing off the light, and then there's also a brass plate underneath that's reflecting the lights from the south facing LEDs on the board. I have it on the lowest setting right now, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's not low setting, that's the lowest setting, which I have it on permanently actually, but for the video I'm going to put it to maximum brightness just to show you this is the maximum brightness. Because I have bright overhead lights, the light might not show up very clearly against a very bright key light, so that's why I have it on maximum brightness right now. It has kind of like, I have it on yellow permanently, yellow lights at the moment. You can kind of like play around with it and change the colors, change the type of lighting that you want, the cycle through the different styles. There's a lot of different styles and it looks actually very vibrant, very appealing, to be honest with you. You can go for any kind of style you want, cycle through any kind of colors or designs. They all work really well. The lights are vibrant, they're inviting, it's really good. But the reason why I went for this yellow color is because it's kind of like a golden ambient light, and it helps along that brass plate that's underneath. Because of that brass plate underneath, it's already kind of like yellowish golden, and then when I have the yellow lights on, it kind of like accentuates the color itself and makes it really nice. This is of course really bad for your battery life if you play on wireless mode. Thankfully you get a 4800 milliamp battery with this to keep your RGB lights on for days, and if you're low on battery you can just plug it in and continue on your merry way without the need to flip a switch or press some key combinations to get back into wired mode. Everything is seamless and integrated, and this is the most convenient feature that I have come across. The keyboard only has a on and off switch here, that's it. So it's pretty straightforward. You turn it on, you turn it off, you plug it in, it goes into wired mode by itself. You pull it out, it continues on its merry way in 2.4G, providing you have your dongle plugged in as well, of course. Now let's talk specs. This is a Hall effect keyboard with magnetic switches, and they come stock with Kailh magnetic ice cream switches. They work great, and as you can see, you can set it up with a downloadable Keydous software, or you can use a web-based UI at qmk.top. They both work fine. The setting feature, as usual, the individual adjustable actuation, rapid trigger, dynamic keystroke. However, at the time of this recording, they have yet to update the firmware for the SOCD or snap tap feature, which they said they would implement as soon as it is ready. Now, in-game the features were great. Honestly, I only use the rapid trigger feature and adjustable actuation, and they work as intended. Now, earlier I mentioned that you can use both magnetic and mechanical switches at the same time. That is what they claim. The PCB slots that accommodate 3-pin mechanical switches, they are in there. If you take a look at the slots itself, there is a 3-pin slot in there, 4 mechanical switches with 3-pin slots. But I could not get, I have a mechanical switch here and I tried it and it did not work. I don't know why. Maybe for some reason, I don't know why it didn't work. It just did not work. I tried to mix and match, tried to put a magnetic, tried to put a regular switch in there. to see if it would work, but it did not. So I don't know why, but for now, anyway, I only use this keyboard for its magnetic switches. I don't know what reason I would have to mix and match mechanical switches and magnetic switches, but it's supposed to be able to do that. I don't know why I couldn't get it to work. Maybe I had to do something else. I tried to search for the answer, but I could not. But you know, it is what it is. They claim it can run both simultaneously, but it doesn't. I do want to talk a little bit about the TFT screen. It is pretty cool. You can run a GIF on it, or it will display your battery life. It will display your connection mode, or you can run a GIF in there, which I have one right now, kind of like the meme GIF, just for fun. But otherwise, a nice TFT screen there. Most keyboards now have a knob. I prefer the TFT screen. I think it's pretty cool. Also, I would have liked it better if they had used a thicker keycap to make the typing experience a bit nicer and a bit more refined. These keycaps, they are not the thickest one. If I just measure the outer layer of the keycap, it is only a mere 1.1, 1.2 millimeters. If I include the inner layer, it is 1.6 millimeters. So it is not like a, I don't know if this is a double shot PBT or not, or if it's ABS, but it doesn't look like it's fused together. The white part looks like a different layer that was glued on. So I don't know what kind of keycaps you call this. They're not terrible, but they're not the greatest. They are shine through, and the fonts look pretty good when you have the RGB lights turned on. They look pretty good. I wish they had made thicker keycaps for that, so that you have, like, a more satisfying typing experience. I must say the stabilizers and the spacebar just sounds really nice. It feels really nice. It sounds really nice. I like how the stabilizers have been lubed. All the switches are lubed, by the way. That's why they're kind of like smooth and nice feeling. But I wish those keycaps was just a little bit thicker. Overall, you are getting an above average experience Hall effect keyboard, and the price is fair, and I think it would be more valuable once they upgrade the firmware to include the SOCD or snap tap. Anyway, that is my review of the Keydous NJ81-CP Pro. What a long ass name. They should have made something like simpler and easier to memorize for their customers or people who are interested in this kind of keyboards. NJ81-CP Pro just seems like a real mouthful for anyone to even try to remember that name. You know what I mean? If you come across this keyboard, how are you going to remember that name? So anyway, thanks for watching this video, and hope you found some useful information, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.